So, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone, from whenever you're calling in from or you're listening to this recording from. We had quite well, I wouldn't say a very successful week last week because the market was really quite slow towards the end of it. But in the beginning of the week, it was not really so bad for some of us. But I know some people still found an opportunity to trade and still won in the markets. So but I'm quite hopeful that this week that getting into would be a lot better. But to start with, to just look at the news to just see what we are up against, what's going to move the market for us this week that we're going into. So on the first, remember what I say, you must always look at the two news platforms, investing.com and your Forex Factory, just to make sure that you get the right information. Like right now, if you look at this, on Sunday there's nothing, on Monday there's nothing, there's no high impact news happening, but on Tuesday it starts with NZD news. But if you look at this on Tuesday, is there anything on Tuesday here? Let me see. You see, as you can see, there is no NZD high impact news. You see, they are all the news that we have here, low, medium impact news. So that tells us that we have to look at the two platforms because sometimes one may have the right information, the other doesn't. So just put that into consideration. So there's an NZD news happening, which is a high impact news. So just look at that. We have JPY news as well. So for those of us that are trading Euro JPY and GBP JPY, just be on the lookout. And also those trading the NZD USD, be on the lookout. Throughout that week, we don't have much news from the beginning of the week, but towards the end of the week, we have a lot more news. So just put that into consideration. GBP news, we have that. We have AUD news. We have we have card news as well. For some people that are trading USD cards, so just have that at the back of your mind that you might, or for some of us that trade news as well, you find some news releases to trade. And then the dollar index for some people that are in the USD card, USD JPY, or Euro USD, GBP USD, you see that the dollar has been falling last week or thereabout. But again, regardless of whatever the dollar is doing, we will be winning in the market because we will sell when it's falling and we buy when it's rising. So either way, we are still winning in the market. Now, this is what it looks like. I've been waiting for this head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder to form for like forever, but the market has just been ranging here. You see, I've marked this out, all marked this out since so many months ago. So I'm waiting for this inverse head and shoulder. Some people call it inverted head and shoulder to form. So this is supposed to come all the way down here and then go back up. So if this breaks this level, that's a sell for me, sell back to this level, sell here, then buy back to this level, then wait for a retest to buy to this level, then again wait for a retest of that level and it breaks above that. So it's going to be a massive win for some of us that are trading USD CAD or USD JPY and all of those USD dominance news. And for some people that are trading the Euro USD, GBP USD, you also winning because they are all inverse direction to USD, to the index, USD index. So that's what this looks like right now. If I drop this down, you can see it's still ranging. But if you bring it down to the smaller sample, that will clearly show you, where it is, but it's still within these levels, so just put that into consideration as you're trading those pairs. So I go straight to what we have for today. So I'm not going to take a lot of them. I'm just going to take a few of them, that we trade. And if you are on the call and you want us to consider a particular one, so just let us know. I just marked this with just as we, funny enough, I started talking about this before, but I wasn't sharing my screen, so I marked this. I'm going to do it again. Normally I don't mark it on the day of our outlook, so it don't make it too long, but I'm just going to do that just for this pair again. So how I start with the higher time frame just to have a global picture, a bird's eye view of what price is doing or where price is and where price may likely be going to. So I start by identifying my highest point of the market or the highest level where price is having reaction. Now, if you can see, it's somewhere around here. That's where price is always turning back when it gets to. So I'm just gonna pick that. I don't know why I'm choosing this blue. I don't like this blue. I generally don't like blue, but I don't think I like this pale blue. I like to use the other one because it's sharper. So I'm gonna use that one. So that's my blue. So price, every time price got there, it fell, got there, fell. So but right now you see where price is at. Price is here. Price hasn't gotten to that level yet. So we're looking to take a trade from this level. But if it breaks above that level, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. So first of all, first identify where price is at right now. So this is where price is at. And here is where price got to before turning. Every time it got to that zone, that's one of the supply zones. Every time price got to that level, it just had had a U-turn and just comes back down. So this is where we are right now. This is where we get to before turning back. I'm just gonna mark those levels. Yeah, this is for the benefit of those that are new, still new, that may not know, are still struggling, or still learning, not struggling, still learning how to draw support and resistance lines or levels. So this is it. This is where we are right now. So now, what are we expecting? If you were trading this, we're expecting this to come all the way back down and then go all the way back up. If it decides to remain in this range, this consolidation that it's been in since February, so that's what I'm expecting to happen. But then, if it breaks above that, something happens and it breaks above that, what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for it to retest that level. Let's do that. Waiting for it to retest that level. Sometimes price may not necessarily retest it, but you just always look for a pullback. Because price doesn't go in one direction, it pulls back before continuing. So if that happens, then we have an opportunity to trade that. Then if that doesn't happen, then it breaks below here. So we're looking to sell when it comes back to this level, and then we can sell it down to the next level. So it really depends on where you want to take profit or where you're comfortable with. If you're sure it's going to come as low as this place, then by all means you can take profit there. But if you're sure it's going to come back to this level, well, but I'm more conservative, so I'm going to look to take profit somewhere around here, So, and that's how many pips, if all things being equal, for just 300 plus pips. If it breaks below, if it breaks above, that's 400 plus pips, almost 500 plus, almost 500 pips. So that's what you'll be looking at. But I'm not looking to trade any of the breakouts anytime soon. I think it's just going to consolidate for a while. So, but that said, now for the smaller time frame, you drop down to your daily time frame, and then as you drop down, you can clearly see the levels forming. So I can do this because I can see that price had reactions every time it came to these levels. You see, so every time it came here, reacted. It reacted when it came here, reacted. So that level seems to be another key level as well. So I will watch that level too. So what happens? What am I looking for? I'm just gonna hide this, put that on the weekly. That shows only on the weekly. So now on this one as well. See that on the weekly. So now what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for this to break below. This to break below here and retest that level that it just broke out of. Yep. So basically, I'm looking for a pullback. So it may not always go back to retest that level, but it may give me a pullback just like this. It may give you a pullback, But you know how we trade price action. If you drop down to your 15 minutes, you can clearly see all of the break and retest of the higher levels, like highest points that they got to, lowest point that they got to, the lower lows and lower highs. Another way of saying it. So now I'm going to wait for this to break that level and retest it. Then I can take my trade. But if that doesn't happen, there's going to be a reject. It's going to reject this level and then going to go back up. Now the level it may get to, it may not get back to this blue zone. It may even get here. May get to this zone. Let me put that either there or here. Just one of these levels before turning back. So if I'm going to trade this, my TP will be somewhere around here. Because that's the most recent place that price got to. So probably for 100 plus pips, 170 pips. Yep. So that's if it rejects this level and begins to go back up. But if it breaks it, this is your level here. And then when it comes back to this level, look for a good entry to sell it. Look for a clear entry, because this is what we did when it was at this level. In fact, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this level here. So, because that's where price turned. We looked for an entry somewhere around here, and we wrote this to the top. We wrote it back down, but then this happened. This rejection happened, and then this pullback, massive pullback. Emotion got us out of this trade. Probably will have stayed, because this was a massive win for us, but then took back a whole of it. I think I got out somewhere around here, and then price just kept going up, and then I missed all of this fall. I think I got in somewhere around here, back down, and then I missed all of this. I missed all of this move. So now just look for a good entry on the downside. If that doesn't happen, look for a good entry on the upside. So what are you looking for? Probably looking for a bullish engulfing candle, some strong candle that will show you and give you an indication of an upward movement. Yep, but then you need to drop to your smaller time frame so you can see those movements. So that's AUD, JPY. What's one? Let me look for GBP, JPY. This is one that we were looking to trade as well. So on the higher time frame, you can clearly see what's happening and clearly see that bearish flag forming. Yep. So now look at it. If I drop it down, you can see what's happening. Price was okay. Let me take it up so I can take it up, so blow it up. See what happened. Price came in, touched that level, bounced, touched that level, bounced, touched this level, bounced, touched this level, bounced, and then what did it do? It broke out of that level now, and then what do you see it do? Retest, drop, retest, drop. This is a bearish engulfing candle. This is a bearish engulfing candle. So now, if you have entered here, you're already in the profit. But for me, I think price has a tendency of going back up. It's still going to pull back up. It may pull back, or probably even up to this point. So I'm going to look for where to put my sell limit. My sell limit. Yep, maybe somewhere around here, or somewhere around here, or I don't know, but anywhere here, between here and here. I could put double, could put one here, put one here, because I'm expecting this to drop. Because if you look at the higher time frame, there's a higher time frame confirmation that this is going to be a bearish move because of that bearish engulfing candle. But mind you, there's going to be a pullback too. But if pullback doesn't happen, then it's going to break that level where it is right now. It's going to break this level, then we're going to look for a retest of that level. So if we get a retest of that level, then we are going back down there. This is the first level, get another level. For some of us that traded the the advanced pattern with me, we got a good entry from the top here with a little drawdown, and then the thing dropped. Did this more. This was our 61.8 fib level. We took the 38.2 and we took the 68.1. So now we're waiting for it to break and retest, price action, retest, and then drop down to, I don't know how many pips that we have left before we stop seeing moves. So I see for here, we still have how many pips? We have 500 plus pips there. We still have 400 pips there. And if it breaks below that, that's like some of us will be made for this year. That's 800 plus. So if you have standards on those three, you don't need to trade anymore. Just chill. If you have 10 standards as well, don't probably just don't worry about trading for the next 1 or 2 years, because some people don't even make that much in a year. Yep, I'm gonna do a training again probably this week on compounding, being able to compound, being able to trade. I'm gonna do a training on psychology as well, compounding psychology, and the idea of trading, how you should trade. Some of us just believe we want to jump in one move and then put all of our eggs in that move, but that shouldn't be the case. You should be able to spread your money so you can increase your chances of winning. Okay, that's GBP, JPY, Euro JPY, probably the same thing happening as well. We started somewhere around here with zero drawdown. even. So, and it dropped all the way down to the our 38, broke our 38, got down to so now our TP is somewhere around here. This is where our TP is gonna be. So on your smaller time frame, you can look for good entries who've been eating it. This is what's been what I've been trading since last week. I've been really trading this. So it got in, did that pullback, and then dropped again. So I'm guessing this is just going to be doing that pullback. So once you get a good entry, don't jump out. Where you will start thinking of jumping out of the trade is if it comes back here, and maybe if I see it break above here, I'm probably going to take a buy back to this level. But if not, I don't see any reason why I should be buying. Right now I'm still be looking for a sell. So that's Euro JPY. NZD USD. This is one pair we are looking at as well. This was the head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder that we're looking at. Now, it's not forming yet. It hasn't formed yet, sorry. I have no reason to start buying this market yet. Why? Because if you look at the price action right now, it did this, retested and dropped back. Here, from here down here, this is my sell zone. This is my sell zone. So I don't have a reason to be buying this market around here. Right now, it hasn't given me any indication to buy it. It needs to break above this level for me to start looking for a buy. So what am I looking for right now? I'm looking for price to break above this level and then retest it. Get a mini retest. If I drop down to my smaller time frame, I'm gonna get a mini retest somewhere. I don't trade the daily time frame. My what's it called now? My entry time frame is not the daily. Ranges between the 1 hour and the 15 minutes. Yep. So I'm going to look for my entry opportunity in the 15 minutes or the 1 hour. Preferably the 15 minutes. Then if I see that break above and retest, I'm going to take my buy there and I trade it back to this top. So for how many pips? Let me see that. Trade it back to that top for a total of 180 pips. Then I'll trade it back to this bottom. So for the second leg of that head and shoulder for 180 again. So that's about 300 plus 360. Then I'm going to trade it back to that top again for another 180. So after that, I'm going to wait for it to break above and then retest for me to take it back to the up here, maybe somewhere around here, because it's where price turned. So it's going to be somewhere around here. So just look for that move. Mind you, it may not come all the way down. It may just turn here. So don't just sit in the trade and then let it run, unless of course you have your stop losses in place and probably you entered around here and trade goes up and then comes down. And the thing is this, it's going to be very difficult for you if you have a standard lot size, a larger lot size, a larger volume. So just always start with a smaller volume and take profit where you can and when you can. One more pair and then we'll be done. I don't want this to be too long. USD card is another one that we are really looking for. I was really looking at. Let me see what are the other things. Okay, I think this one was one of the ones that I was looking at. Well, look, I think I'm still in this trade for a smaller time, a mini, a micro. Okay, so this is one. So I wait for this to, okay, I have a sell limit somewhere. I wait for this to form. There's that time, what's it called now? The trend line. Price never broke and closed above it. Then it dropped back. So I waited for this to come down. So it came down, broke this trend line. So I'm expecting it now to come down to this trend line. See what happened. See that trend line. Price never came all the way down here when it was going up. It never came down. But now that they broke that trend line, so I'm expecting to come back to this level. If it breaks this level, I'm expecting to come back to these levels that I've created. It probably get here first before getting here, or it may just bounce somewhere around here. But this trend line is just a guide to me. So if I come down right now price is hovering around here. So I'm expecting this to break this. I'm expecting it to go back up and pick me into the trade. But if that doesn't happen, I'll look for my entry. That's why if you notice here, I have this thing set up here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait for that to happen, sit on my hands and wait for price to break below that. And then I'll wait for retest. break below, and then wait for retest. So that's an entry opportunity for me. So once that happens, and then yeah, trade it back down here, or trade it back to my first TP will probably be this trend line, this one here, or this what's it called now? This my horizontal line. Probably that would be my first TP. How much? We have about 50 pips or thereabout. How many? Yeah, but almost, yeah, 100 pips. Okay, 100 pips. Then if it breaks below that, then that's my next level right there. So that, guys, is brings us to the end. Oh, before that, let me just look at one more. That would be this one. This one is one I'm really looking forward to trading, because we have 600 here, 900 here happening. So if that happened right now, it's already given us 100 plus, not so bad. So what I'm waiting for now is for price to break that level. If you can see what I'm saying, that's a head and shoulder forming. That's a shoulder. That's first impulse leg, the shoulder, the head, the shoulder. So I'm waiting for that to break below and then retest that level. Then I'll ride it to this level. Then if it breaks that level, I'm going to wait for that break to happen. Then I'll ride it to that level for another 900. So 600, that one, that's 150 pips, 1,500 pips. So if this is all you need to trade, you can just wait for that. But right now it's in consolidation, so it's not really helping us. So what I'm doing, you can be scalping, trading the up and down, buy low and sell high. Buy low, yeah, and sell high. So from here, between this is how much range? 100 plus range, almost 150 range. So you could be doing that. But then the trouble with that is that you're not sure where it's going to turn, because it's not every time that it gets to the top of the range. It's not every time it gets to the bottom, before turning. So just take notes, like this time around. So if this comes in, I would probably take a trade here for a sell, probably the sell limit here to bring me back down. But if it breaks above that, I'm going to put a buy so that I can take it up here. It's really straightforward. So the same thing is happening to GBP AUD. The same thing happening to this guy is happening to GBP AUD. So just give that a look at that. Look at what I'm trying to say. You see? Oh yeah, this is all messy. Forgive me. So but yeah, it's consolidating at this level right now. So it's not really making new highs and new lows, but I'm waiting for this. If you can understand this a bit, I'm waiting for this to come all the way down to this D. Then I would buy here, buy to that level. That's why you have my TP1. But if this goes up, I'm not expecting this to. If this goes back up here, I'm going to sell to this level and then sell to this level. But if this doesn't and then comes down, so I'm waiting for it to come down to this level. That is your what's it called down there, your cipher pattern. But if you look at the overall, you can see that overall trend line, that price broke out of that trend line and retested that zone, retested that key zone, test drop, and then broke it. And instead of it broke it, and what did it do? It came back and retested it. It broke this trend line. What did it do? Came back and retested. So that's like two confirmation for us to know that this is definitely going to come down. Yep. So, but right now it's consolidating. So, but look for a sell somewhere around here. Look for a sell. If it breaks here, see what I did. If it breaks this line, let me see what number is that. What number that is? 0.75972. If it breaks that line retest, then we're going to sell it. We're going to sell it all the way down to this D, and then look to buy it to TP1 and then TP2. That's some massive win from here. Woohoo! That's almost 900 pips. And then when that happens, I'll take it back here for 690 pips, almost 700 pips, and then take it away, get to this level of 1,000 plus pips. So this alone can be some of our training. If you want someone to do Prince 2, want to learn how to, they want to buy an aeroplane, a car, probably build a house. Some people have put 10 standard lot sizes, 50 standard lot sizes. So this could just be your ticket to those streams. So just look at this, but always get a good entries anyway, and then have a stop loss in place just in case it decides not to do as you plan for it to do. So that brings us to the end of this outlook. Like I said, I don't want it to be too long, but I'm still on the platform. I'm still going to be looking at the trades. I'm still going to be sending out chart analysis. I'm still going to be answering questions. So whatever it is that you have concerns with, just let me know. I haven't looked at GU. I know some of us trade GU, but I'm still going to look at those pairs eventually. So thank you very much, everyone, and see you on the other side.